Hi everyone, good evening. Rana sir is here. Now, today I am going to solve some questions. Yes, some numerical questions which are related to polynomials. Now, here I have already described about the concepts of polynomial like linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, cubic polynomial, and also any term polynomial in detail, and also some of the roots and product of the roots formula I have also described in previous classes. Now in this time I have to solve some questions which are related to polynomial. So first of all I am saying each and every student need to take one notebook and one pen, and with these two information student must sit at your location properly and you listen what I am telling you. Okay, student. So each and every questions when I will explain here, so you write properly these questions and then which type of solution I am going to tell you, you adapt it properly. If you will get any problem during solution, so you comment on that topic. So I will look your comment, and after looking your comment, I will resolve your issues. Okay, student. So I'm going to solve questions which are based on polynomials. So first of all I am saying this is the class 10th mathematics which is in English medium. This is based on NCERT pattern, that is in C.B.S.E Board. Now one question I have taken here, so that question I am going to read properly. You listen and you also note it on your computer. So question number 1, find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial that is written here x square plus 7x plus 10, and verify the relationship between the zeros and its coefficient, because here one quadratic polynomial is given and you have to read about this quadratic polynomial, and you have to also find zeros of the given polynomial. After getting the values of zeros of the polynomial, then you have to also verify the coefficient of the polynomial with the zeros value. Okay, student. So first of all I will solve this quadratic polynomial for getting zeros value. Okay, student. So you concentrate now. I am going to give the solution of this question. First of all I will write here solution, and then I have write here given information, given that one quadratic polynomial is available in the form x squared plus 7x plus 10. This is a quadratic polynomial which is given because it has degree of polynomial 2. So I will say this is a quadratic polynomial. Now here I will assume let f(x) is equal to x squared plus 7x plus 10. Now we have to get zeros value of this quadratic polynomial. If we will get the zeros value of this quadratic polynomial, then I will put here f of x is equal to 0. I will put here f of x is equal to 0. It means that at this place I will put its value is x squared plus 7x plus 10. So this concept this information I will put here. After putting it here, then I will take the factor of this quadratic polynomial, because this polynomial will become here equation. So this is a quadratic equation, and this quadratic equation we will get the root of this quadratic equation by factorization method. Okay student, so here I am going to write in the place of fx, I will write x square plus 7x plus 10, which is equal to 0, because here it was a quadratic polynomial, quadratic polynomial, quadratic polynomial, quadratic polynomial. So here I will say this is a quadratic polynomial, but in the case of getting the value of 0, so I will put f of x is equal to 0. Now in the left hand side, I will write x square plus 7x plus 10 is equal to, in the right hand side I will put 0. So this will become a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. So this will be a quadratic equation. Okay student, so this information student you have to write downside. Okay student, now further you will get the factor of this quadratic equation in the 8th class and also 9th class. Already you have known how to get the quadratic value or the factor of the quadratic equation. So now I am going to also explain the concept how to get its factor. Okay student, so I hope that you have noted the informations on your notebook. Okay students, so now I will erase this one and then we will get its value. Okay, so here I am going to erase this one, and after erasing this one I will get the factor of this information. Okay student, I hope that you have already noted it. Okay, so I am going to erase this one, and after erasing this one I will get its factorization. Okay student, so these informations I am going to erase one by one. Okay students, now here that this is a quadratic equation. So in here I will take the value of a into c, and I will take its mod. The general quadratic equation I know ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0. It means that if that information is given like this, so I will write ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a cannot be 0, because this is a quadratic equation. Because this term a will be 0, so this term can be 0. So this will become a linear polynomial. So for quadratic equation I am putting here a cannot be 0, because in the previous class already I have explained it. So here the coefficient of x square is a. Now here I will consider here the coefficient of x square a, and in this case I will assume coefficient of a x square is 1. So I will write here mod coefficient of x square is 1 into c is constant term. Here c is a value and c is constant term, and in the given quadratic equation I will observe that at the place of constant 10 is given. So I will put here 10. It means that 10 into 1 it will become 10. So 10. Now I will take the factor of this step. This is the modulus. Modulus sign indicate that if any value will come negative in the modulus, so that will become positive after modulus. So if positive is available, so positive term will come outside. So if negative is available, so that negative will convert in positive, so I can write there positive. So here 10 is available, so I will write 10 outside of the modular side. Okay student, now here you have to concentrate on this point. You have to take factor of this 10 in two parts, because here value power of the x is 2, so I will take its two parts such that here positive sign is available, here positive sign is available, here positive sign is available, so that both part I will add. After adding we will get the value of coefficient of x. So coefficient of x is 7, so I will divide it 5 into 2. 5 into 2, it means that 5 plus 2 I will add, it will become 7. So this factor is okay. So I will use one factor is 5, another factor is 2, and 5 and plus 2. Here plus sign is available, so I will add. If here minus sign is available in other quadratic equation, so minus is available, so I will put here minus. So subtraction must be the coefficient of x in other quadratic equation. Okay student, so generally I am telling you this is the particular question, and in this particular question I will take the multiplication of coefficient of x square and the constant term, and I will take its value or its modulus sign, and it will give a positive number, and I will take the multiplication of two numbers such that sum of both number will be the coefficient of x. Here coefficient of x is 7, so 5 plus 2, that will be 7. So this factor is okay. Good. So I will use this concept, and then with this concept I will factorize this. So already I have got two factors, and these two factors I will use. Now I am going to erase this one. After erasing this one, I will take its factor. Okay student, so I am going to erase. So I have got two numbers. So here I will write x square, in the place of 7 I will write 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2. Because its factor I have got from the multiplication of coefficient of x into constant term, plus into x is available, so I will put here x plus 10 is equal to 0. Okay student, so further here I will put imply that this implies that is equal to x square. Now this x will be multiplied by 5 plus, and x is also multiplied with 2. After multiplication we will write like this: 5 into x plus 2 into x plus 10 is equal to 0. Again I will take its common. In these two terms I will take common. So these two terms I can write like this: x square I can write x into x plus 5 into x. This 2 into x and plus 5 into 2 I can write is equal to 0, because 10 can be divided into two parts. 5 into 2, it will become 10. So now further in this term, these two terms I am putting together, and these two terms I am also putting together. So I am going to take common. In this case I will take common x. So here x will be, and plus here plus is available, so I will put here plus sign, and x is already outside, means I have taken common from this term, so here I will put plus sign. Now here plus is available, in this term 2 is available, and here 5 into 2 is available, so 2 will be common. Here I will say 2 is common, so here will be 5 x, here will be x, and plus here will be 5. So I can write like this. Okay student, again you observe that in first term x plus 5 is available, and in second term 2 into x plus 5 is available. So x plus 5 will be common in both terms. So x plus 5 and x plus 5 I will take common. So so I am going to erase above, and after erasing I will take its solution further. Okay, student. So here I am putting imply that here I will take common x plus 5, x plus 5. So in the other bracket I will write here x is available. I will put x here plus sign is available. I will put plus sign and 2 is available. Here I will put 2 is equal to 0. Okay, student. So given quadratic polynomial change in quadratic equation, and after taking the factor of that quadratic equation, I have got these two factors. Okay, student. Now further, I will say this term can be 0. This term can be 0 or this term can be 0. Okay, student. So one by one, I will put this term is equal to 0. After putting this term is equal to 0, I will take this value minus 5. And after putting x plus 2 is equal to 0, so I will say x is equal to minus 2. So one by one, I will solve it. Okay, students. So I am putting in two parts. If here I will write if x plus 5 is equal to 0. So this term I am going to take x plus 5 is equal to 0. So x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now here is one important information. If any constant value here any variable that has positive sign, so it will go in right hand side, it will change, its sign will be negative. But it will have negative sign, so it will go in right hand side, so it will have new sign that is positive. It means that any term which is going from left to right or right to left, that will change its sign. It means that if any quantity which has sign negative, so that will become positive. If that will have positive, so that will become negative, vice versa. So here is positive, so in the I will put in right hand side, it will be minus 5, because in the left hand side it has sign positive, but it will go in right hand side, it will have sign negative. Okay, student. Now case 1, this is the if it may equal to 0, so I have got this one. Now next step, I will say if x plus 2 is equal to 0, in this case same condition I will use, because it has positive sign, it will go in right hand side, it will become negative side. Okay, student. In other words, we can say that given quadratic polynomial has two roots, means that quadratic polynomial has two zeros. One zero is minus 5 and another zero is minus 2. It means that this quadratic equation has two different roots. One root I will say x1 is equal to minus 5 and x2 is equal to minus 2. Okay, student. In other words, we can say that this quadratic polynomial has two zeros. Okay, student. So I am going to erase this one. I hope that all the information already you have noted on your copy. Okay, student. If you are getting solution of this question very well, so you like this channel more and more, and also you subscribe this channel more and more, and again you also share this channel with your colleagues, friends, and also students, so that they can also update and develop their mind on this type question. Now, so here given, so quadratic equation is available, so we have got its zeroth value, so its zeroth value will be 2. So I am going to write its zeroth value. Now it has two zeros. It has two zeros value. It has two zero value. It has two zero value. It has two zero value. One is minus 2 and other is minus 5. This is one answer. Okay, student. So x square plus 7x plus 10 already given, so I have written it in the form of equation, quadratic equation, and I have got its two zero values. One is two zeros value, it has two zeros value. One is -2 and other is -5. Okay, student. Now next point is given. Also verify the relationship between zeros and its coefficient. We have to get the relationship between zeros and its coefficient. Now, first question, I have also got the answer zeros value. So one is the -2 and other is the -5. Now we have to take verification. So here I will write verification. Here I will write verification of zeros. Now we will write sum of the zeros. Sum of the zeros. One root is alpha. Here I will write one root is alpha and other root is beta. It means that I will put the value of alpha. One is the alpha. Here I will say this is the alpha and this is the beta. In the place of alpha I will write 2 and plus. In the place of beta I will write -5. So here I will put another bracket, and after simplification I will write it will be -2 plus and minus. Multiplication of plus and minus sign, that will become minus, so I will write here -7. Okay, student. So -7. Here -7 is available, so I will put here 7 divided by 1. -7 is available. In the place of -7 I will put there -7 divided by 1. So minus sign I will put here -7. In the quadratic equation, in the quadratic polynomial, I will say this is the value of 7. Minus I am putting here like this, 7 divided by 1. I am putting like this. Okay, students. So minus is available there. So here I will say the 7 is the coefficient of x. I will write coefficient of x. So here I am going to say alpha plus beta minus and -7 divided by 1 is available. So in the minus I will put here, and in the place of 7 I will say this is the coefficient of x. Therefore I will write here coefficient of x. Here I will write coefficient of x, and in the place of 1 I will say the coefficient of x square. Now here coefficient of x square is 1. In the place of 1 I will write coefficient of x square. I will write here coefficient of x square. Okay, student. So alpha plus beta is equal to minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Okay, so this information is okay. Now I will take product of two zeros. So I am going to erase this one, and I will take product of two zeros. Here I will write product of two zeros. Product of two zeros is a product of zeros. Product of zero is in the bracket I can write alpha into beta. alpha is one zeroth value and beta is another zeroth value. In other words, we can say that alpha is the root of that quadratic equation and beta is also root of that quadratic given quadratic equation. It means that given quadratic equation, given quadratic polynomial is also intersecting at two different points on the x-axis. Therefore, product of two zeros, I will write the value of alpha. Value of alpha is -2 into. I will write also the value of beta, which is equal to -5. The value of beta is -5. So I will take its multiplication. Minus into minus, it will become plus, and 5 into 2, it will become 10. it will become 10. In other words, we can say that in the place of 10, I can write like this: 10 divided by 1. And 10 is the constant term in the given polynomial. So I will write in the place of 10, that is the constant term, and in the place of x, I will write coefficient of x square. So here I can write constant term divided by, now I am going to write at another place because here, so in the place of this, so I am erasing and I am writing here, it will become 10 divided by 1. Now in the place of 10, I will write constant term. I will write here constant term. Constant term divided by coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square. Now product of zeros means alpha into beta. Product of 0 means alpha into beta. That is equal to, in the place of alpha, I will put the value of alpha is -2, and in the place of beta, I will put the value of beta is -5. So I will take multiplication of minus into minus, that will become positive plus sign, and then 5 into 2, that will become 10. In the place of 10, I can write 10 divided by 1. Now 10 in the quadratic polynomial, that is the constant term, so I will write here constant term, but in the place of 1, I will write that is the coefficient of x square, so I will write coefficient of x square. So I will say relationship between 0 and its coefficient is verified, because sum of the roots is also -7 and product of roots is also 10, and we are taking its coefficient -x square, coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square is the same value, and constant term divided by coefficient of x square is also the same value. So I can say that, so I am going to erase this one, because I hope that you have already noted these information, these data on your copy. Okay student, so I am going to erase this one, and I will write in the case of verification. In the case of verification, I will say the relationship between in the shortcut it is written as between BETWWN. In the short form I write like this: BET and T to the power n, that is the short form of between the zeros, and its coefficient, and its coefficient is verified. verified. Okay student, so question was given like this. You have to get the zeros value after given quadratic polynomial, and after getting zeros after given quadratic polynomial, you have to also verify the relationship between zeros and its coefficient. So first of all, I have assumed that the given polynomial is in the form of fx is equal to the given data, means x square plus 7x plus 10. Now it has two zeros value, so I will put f of x is equal to 0. After putting 0, I have taken the factorization of the given quadratic equation, because given polynomial becomes as a quadratic equation. After getting its factorization, because quadratic equation a variable has two roots, because its power is 2, so one root will be alpha and other root will be beta. So I have got its value, alpha is equal to -2 and beta is equal to alpha is equal to -2 and beta is equal to -5. I have got. Now I have also got the sum of zeros, that is alpha plus beta. I have got its value -7, means minus sign I have taken outside, and then I have written 7 divided by 1. 7 is the coefficient of x and 1 is the coefficient of x square. So this is the condition 1, and condition 2, I have taken product of two zeros, that is alpha into beta. I have got 10 divided by 1. It means that one is the constant term divided by 1 is the coefficient of x square. So I have got same condition in both cases. Therefore, I have told you the relationship between zeros and its coefficient, that is verified. So according to this way, if any questions are giving, if any question is giving, so by using this concept, and we will get the zeros of a given polynomial. And also polynomial can be quadratic, can be linear, can be quadratic, and can be cubic, and so on. Okay student, by this way I can get the zeros of the given polynomial in very well. And again, we can also verify the coefficient and relationship between zeros. So after verification, we will get its solution like this. Okay student, if you are doing very well, so you like this channel and more, and also you subscribe this channel, and also you share this channel with your colleagues, friends and students, so that they can also update and develop their minds on such type of question. Okay students, so now I am going to explain another topic, and which is important, and that topic is also asked when any polynomial which cuts the x-axis, how many roots will be there, how many zeros will be there. If any polynomial which is not cutting the x-axis, so what will be the zeros value? Yeah, how many roots will be there. So all information I will explain with a diagram clearly. Okay student, so I am going to start this topic also. Now I am taking this question from the textbook. So after taking it, I will solve it in detail. Okay students. Question number 2 is like this. The graph f of x, f of the graph y is equal to f of x is given. Okay students, now are given value. Here I will write are given value. find the roots of the given graph. Find the roots. Roots they are zeros. Find the roots are zeros of the given graph. Of the given graph. Okay, student. So graph is given. I am going to write here. Graph 1 is like this. One is the x-axis, other is the y-axis. This is called x-axis. X-axis, and this is called y-axis. This is called y-axis. Now one solid is given. The x-axis is equal to like this. Means y is equal to f of x. This is a curve. This is a curve which is drawn in the xy plane, and this curve is not intersecting the x-axis. It means that here I write its zeroth value will be 0. Now second, I am going to draw figure number second. So I am putting here like this. So this is the x-axis. Similarly, I will say this is the y-axis. This is the y-axis. Now one curve is given like this. Suppose that one curve is going like this. Means this is the curve. This is the curve. I will say y is equal to fx. Y is equal to fx, and this y is equal to fx curve is available, and this curve diagram is like this. Means it is cutting the x-axis at one point. Means it will have only 1 0. But in the case of this diagram, this is the diagram of f of x. So it is a straight line, and this straight line is not intersecting the x-axis at any point. So it will have no zero value. It will have no zero value. Its zero value will be 0. Its zeroth value will be 0 because it is not intersecting the x-axis. But here this curve is intersecting at one point. So I will say it will have 1 0 value. Okay, student. Now next question and next diagram I am going to explain. Now first of all I will write its zeroth value. Its zeroth value, its zero value will be 0. Its zeroth value will be 0. Means it will have no zeroth value. In other words, we can say that. In other words, here I will write in other words. In other words, we can say that it will have no zero value. It will have no zero value. No zero value. It will have no zero value. Okay, student. This is the answer of this diagram. You can write this statement. You can write this statement or this statement. Any one you have to write, because this sentence is given, means it has zero value, means this function is not, this function here, this curve is not intersecting on x-axis, therefore its zeroth value will be 0. In other words, we can say that it will have no zero value. It means this curve is not intersecting x-axis. Okay, student. So if such type of question is given, so if curve will intersect x-axis at one point, so its value will be 1. Its zeroth value will be 1. If it will cut, it means curve will cut with the x-axis. If on two different points, so I will say that zero's value will be 2, means two root will be there. If a curve will not intersect the x-axis, so root will be not there. But here in this diagram I am saying this is a curve, whose name is y barabar fx, and this curve is intersecting on the x-axis at one point, so I will say its zero's value is 1, because this curve is intersecting on the x-axis at one point, so its zero's value will be 1. So this is the first diagram and its answer I have written here. And answer of the second question I am writing answer. This curve has, here I will say this curve has only one zero. This curve has only 1 0. It means that this curve is cutting, intersecting the x-axis at one point. Okay, student. In other words, we can also say that it has only one root. In other words, we can say that in other words, we can say that it has only one root. Because that curve is cutting, intersecting the x-axis at one point. Okay, student. Now next example I am going to take, so that you can also get the solution of the given questions. Now I am drawing the x-axis on the xy plane. This is the x-axis, and other line I am drawing which is perpendicular to the x-axis. That line is called y-axis. And this angle will be 90 degree. Now one curve is such that which is intersecting the curve at 3 points on the x-axis. So this curve will have 3 different roots, and 3 different roots means that curve will have 3 zeros. So this curve I am saying y is equal to f of x. Now this previous diagram I am going to erase. So this is the origin. Now here I have written one is the x-axis, and other is the y-axis. Y-axis is also perpendicular to x-axis. Now one is the curve whose name is y equal to fx, and this curve I have drawn like this. It is going and it is cutting y-axis. There is no need for considering y-axis, but it is cutting x-axis on 3 different points, 1, 2, and 3. This point I will say 1, this is 2, and this is 3. It means that this curve has 3 zeros. This I will say answer like this. This curve has 3 zeros. 3 zeros value, because this curve is intersecting the x-axis at 3 different points, so I will say it has 3 zeros value. In other words, we can say that this curve is containing 3 roots. In other words, or we can write in other words, this curve is containing 3 roots. This curve, here I will write curve. This curve is containing this curve is containing three different roots, three distinct roots. Distinct roots. Here I write roots. Okay, student, if any diagram is given and one question is asking, you tell me how many zeros will be there. So I will see if curve is cutting x-axis at one point, so zero value will be 1. If that curve will cut, given curve will cut at 2 point, so zero's value will be 2. If given curve will cut x-axis at 3 point, so there will be 3 zeros. Zero in the place of zeros, I can also use that roots of the given curve. Curve can be also polynomial. Okay, student. So this is the example number 3. This is the example. Yeah, this is the condition number 3. Already I have explained. Now other conditions I am also going to take. If curve will cut 4 point, yeah, 5 point. Okay, student. So I hope that you have already understand it. If any curve will cut x-axis, so you will say 0. You will count number of intersection point with x-axis, number of intersection point with x-axis. If intersection is available, so I will count the number of intersection. Those will be zeros value. If number of intersection will not exist, so I will say there is no any zeros value. Okay, student. So another example I am also going to take, and after taking I will explain it in detail. Okay, students. So I am going to erase this one, and example number 4 I will explain so that you will have good mind, so you can easily solve any question in your exam. Okay, students. So I am going to erase this one. Now I am going to take another example, that will be 4. Again I will draw here one x-axis which is parallel to the horizontal line. So here I will say this is the x-axis. Now one line I will draw which will be perpendicular to the x-axis, and that line I will say that is the y-axis. Okay, student. Perpendicular means that is 90 degree between these two lines. Now this is the intersection point, and this is intersection point. I will say origin, and its coordinate will be 0, 0. Now I will take a curve, and that curve is passing like this. Suppose that this is a curve coming from any minus infinity or plus infinity, that is coming from plus infinity or minus infinity. It will moving like this. In this case, I will say how many zeros will be there. So I will say this is the y is equal to fx, and this is a general polynomial, and that general polynomial is cutting. This line will go minus infinity, and this line will go up to plus infinity. So now here I will consider the intersection of polynomial with the x-axis. So here one zero is available, here second zero is available, here third zero is available, and here fourth zero is available. It means that this polynomial has, this curve has 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Okay, student. Only we have to count the intersection of curve with the x-axis. If number of intersection is available, so I will say the zeros values are available, and I will count the number of zeros. Okay, student. If the curve will not intersect, that is the example number 1. If curve will not intersect the x-axis, so there will be no zero value. Okay, student. So here I will write this. This is a curve, and which has 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros value. This is a curve which has four zeros. This is a curve which has four zeros. In other words, we can say that this is a curve which has four roots, and one root is at this point, other roots will be at this point, and other roots will be at this point, and next root will be at this point. Okay student, according to this way, if any polynomial is given, so you can easily solve very well. Okay student, I hope that you are understanding very well. Therefore, I am requesting you to like this channel more and more, and also you subscribe this channel, and also you share this channel with your friends, colleagues, and also students, so that they can also update and develop their minds on this topic very well. Okay student, now on the same time, that is 10 past to 7 p.m. to 8 past uh, up to 8 o'clock, that is up to 10 past to 8 o'clock, I will be always online, and you follow this time interval, and you attend. This is the free online coaching classes, and positively I will explain each and every chapter of class 10 mathematics in English medium, which is based on NCERT pattern, that is belongs to C.B.S.E Board. Okay student, you can easily solve this topic very well. Now I am going to terminate in this time communication, and tomorrow on the same time, that is 10 past to 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I will be present with you. Okay student, so I hope that you are knowing very well how, if any quadratic equation is given, a quadratic polynomials are given, so you can easily get the zeros value of that quadratic equation. Polynomial are linear polynomial, a cubic polynomial, are fourth degree polynomial. You can also obtain by using same concept. So first of all, we will assume the f of x is equal to 0. After putting f of x is equal to 0, so we will get quadratic equation. Quadratic polynomial will change in the quadratic equation, and I will use the concept of factorization method, and after doing factorization I will get its two roots, and that will be alpha and beta, means alpha and beta. So sum of the roots, sum of the zeros I will get, it means that sum of the roots means alpha plus beta, that will be the minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square, and also I will the zeros, that will be the alpha into beta, which will be equal to constant term divided by coefficient of x square. If both conditions are equal, so I will say that according to this procedure, that question is also verified. Okay student, if curves are given and question is going to ask like this, if find the zeros of the given diagram, so I check only the curve intersection point of x-axis with curve. If intersection point of curve and x-axis is available, so I will say there is 0 point. So I will say, I will count the number of zeros, and that will be the answer of our question. Okay student, so this is the way, this is the process. With this process I will also solve any curve which is given in my question. Okay student, so I hope that you are knowing very well. Therefore, you like this channel and also subscribe this channel, and also also share this channel with your colleagues, friends, and students, so that they can also update their knowledge on this topic and also develop their knowledge on this topic. And then there is also bell icon is available, and also you press that icon, and it I will upload new video, so you can also get notification. After getting notification, you can observe that video first of all with respect to other. So according to this way, I am going to terminate this today class, and tomorrow on the same time, that is 10 past to 7 p.m. to 8 8 o'clock I will be present with you. Okay, student? Thank you.